Alexa Donne here, and today I am talking about how much it costs to be traditionally published. I'm speaking to this topic from the perspective of someone who is being traditionally published by a major publisher. So I'm going to be going over the things that I spent my money on, and so thus the cost that I incurred to go from aspiring writer to having a book on the bookshelves. And I will start up front by saying that one of the things about traditional publishing is the money should always flow to the author. So you note that I have no upfront costs for things like editors or paying people to, help me query, get an agent, and so on. I wanted to offer my perspective as a traditionally published author with a major publisher so you could see what I actually ended up spending my money on. Now, in most cases, these expenses were in the last year, so from the time that I got my book deal to now my book coming out, but a few of them are older legacy costs that I thought were worth mentioning because I definitely consider them an investment in my publishing career. So first, I spent $40 on Scrivener. So this is my ride or die writing program. Now $40 is the retail price of Scrivener. I actually paid $25 because I participated in NaNoWriMo that year and I did get a coupon. Next, the year that I was querying and getting an agent, I paid $25 for Query Tracker Pro. It's one of the better investments that I made in my career. It really helped me with the whole querying process, and so it is an expense that I was happy to pay and that I do recommend. Next, I spent $120 on Canva Pro. So Canva is a free graphic design tool that I highly recommend to you for doing your own graphics to promote your book. And I decided that it was a worthwhile investment to invest in the Pro tool for my debut year so that I had access to more of their, design elements. So for me, that was a worthwhile investment, but it's also certainly something you can do for free. Next, I spent approximately $120 over the last year for my web host, so hosting and design and so on. Really, that $120 was spread across 2 years because of a hosting deal I got, but very worth throwing it out there as a business expense that I had to consider and pay. Next, I spent or really invested $275 in a subscription to Publishers Marketplace. This is 100% optional. It kind of depends on you and whether you want to get it or whether you have a friend who has it, because you can always ask your friend to look stuff up for you. I just really like staying on top of the business and like seeing the deals that are coming out. So for me, Publishers Marketplace was a worthwhile investment and is a worthwhile investment. I will very likely be renewing my subscription next year. Next, I spent $160 on an artwork commission. Now, I did this kind of as an insurance policy because I wasn't sure what my publisher's plans were for marketing my book and for doing a pre-order campaign. As it turned out, my publisher planned on doing things so that I didn't really end up needing the character art. So this is really kind of a case-by-case basis where I've seen authors who have invested in character art and it was a really fantastic investment. But for me, I don't think I necessarily needed to do it. So it was $160 and I really could have saved that money. Next, I spent approximately $100 on giveaway postage. So this was shipping for the ARC giveaways I did and various prize packs. So for domestic, for shipping an ARC, I got away with it being about $4 max per package because I was able to use medium mail. And this is why you see a lot of people only do US giveaways, because when you get outside of the US, that's when it's really, really expensive. I spent $25 on a single package going to the UK. I'm still really glad that I did international giveaways and I had international winners, but you have to factor that into your budgeting. And so personally, I evened out at about $100 between all of the different giveaways that I did. I spent about $30 on miscellaneous giveaway swag. So this included the Jane Eyre temporary tattoos that I included in a giveaway, as well as the Jane Eyre necklace that I included in a giveaway. I ended up not spending as much on giveaway items because I was so fortunate that my publisher ended up doing my pre-order campaign. This isn't that common, and if I hadn't had that, I probably would have spent closer to $100 on miscellaneous items for giveaway promotion because I would have put together a prize pack for my pre-order giveaway, but I didn't end up needing to do that. Next, I spent about $400 on thank you gifts for my agent and my publisher. This is a little on the high end, I will admit, for a few reasons. Part partly because my publisher has 2 separate offices, and so I work with teams who are in 2 locations. There's one team in New York and there's one team in Boston, and I never wanted to, favor the New York team over the Boston team. So when I bought a gift set, I had to buy one for each office. Worthwhile investment if you ask me. Now, I did Christmas gifts, and I am also doing a thank you, happy publication day gift for both offices, as well as my literary agent. Next, I spent about $220 on bookmarks, and look at these fabulous things. I'm really happy with them. Here, I'll show you. Isn't it gorgeous? That's the back. So I ordered 1,000 bookmarks from a Minuteman press that I had worked with before in my day job. Got a really great price. Generally speaking, anytime you order in bulk, so you order a higher quantity for paper products, you're always going to get more economy of scale. So I ordered 1,000. I also did the rounded corners. That was a slight upgrade cost. And then it was approximately $40 to have a designer create the bookmark design for me. So all added together, really that's $260 for bookmarks when you include the designer's fee. Next, I spent $28 on business cards. I did this as soon as I got my book deal so that I could put my book information on the cards. I used that Canva Pro subscription to design them, and I used Moo cards to print them. I ordered the smallest set available on Moo cards. I did do pretty rounded corners on those, and they were a fantastic investment. I definitely ended up giving them out, and that's something I plan on reinvesting in. When I get the cover for my second book, I'm going to do business cards that actually have my book cover on them. I did generic cards when I first got my deal. And last but certainly not least, I've invested about $30 in Sharpies. This is for various signings I'm going to be doing in case the place I'm going to be doesn't have a Sharpie supply, but also because I use metallic Sharpies to sign the cover page of my book because it is a gorgeous black, and most places aren't going to stock metallic Sharpies. They also dry out really fast, so I have to order more of them. I'm on my second set, and I will probably need to order more, and I also ordered a whole separate set of purple Sharpies for signing book plates. I ended up signing book plates for my publisher for various boxes and whatnot. That's a hint of cool things to come. And so I picked a color that I liked that worked well with the book plates, and I stocked up on a bunch of those Sharpies. So you have to think about that as a business expense. Pens so that you can sign your books. All in all, I spent $1,588. So that is over the course of probably the last 2 to 3 years, because I did count the Scrivener cost. I bought Scrivener, I think 4 years ago, and the Query Tracker Pro account, which I paid for between 2015 and 2016. And then the majority of the rest of the costs were in the last calendar year. Now, as I mentioned, some of these expenses were definitely optional, but others were a worthwhile investment or things that you definitely have to budget for. This is why I recommend, if you are being traditionally published, that you set aside approximately 10% of your advance for your own author marketing expenses. I also need to note that I have been incredibly fortunate in that I have not had to pay for any of my own travel. I have been able to go to some book-related events, and my publisher did cover those expenses. This is not that common. I'm incredibly lucky, and I always want to make it clear that I know how lucky I am and that I am grateful. But if you do want to attend events and do any travel, you should always bank on having to pay for that yourself. So your budget might have to be a bit higher than what ultimately I have ended up spending. The journey of every author is going to be different, and thus what each author is going to have to spend is going to be different. But this is a ballpark giving you a good sense of what you might want to set aside if you have a traditional publishing deal with a major publisher doing a moderate amount of your own marketing and swag. Let me know down below in the comments any questions you have. I think this is a pretty fascinating topic. I mean, anytime you talk about money, it's kind of a fascinating topic. Were you surprised by some of the things that I spent money on? Surprised by some of the things I didn't spend money on? Do you have any questions about publishing and marketing and so on? Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Maybe I will do more like publishing money related videos. Ooh, it's so taboo, right? If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I always welcome new subscribers. I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week all about the publishing industry, craft, writing, young adult fiction, reading, and books. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, happy writing!